there, it's King Coral, and let's talk about how you can live in New York with less than 10K and still have a good time. I was in New York as an au pair, making $7,200 a year. Even though I didn't have to pay rent, this is nothing in New York. And I noticed that by going to the city and seeing that a scoop of ice cream is $8, and that is a lot of money when you only make $4 an hour. Alright, so let's talk about food, transportation, and activities that will save you tons of money in New York. Let's start off by food. So what I did is find the cheapest kind of food, and the cheapest kind of food that I found in New York were the $1 pizza slices. So a lot of pizza places, they charge more than $1 now, but there are a few remaining places that I found in Lower East Side, and especially also even Chinatown has a lot of cheap takeaway food that you can get there. Also, always bring cash to those $1 pizza places. The next thing that I did was finding cheap eats. Los Tacos, really good food, really cheap. I found corn dog place in Koreatown. There are a lot of places with cheap kind of food where you don't necessarily have to tip, and that will save you a lot of money. So generally, if you go out to eat in a restaurant, it will be between 40 and 50 bucks per person, and I think that is a lot of money. So I found these cheaper alternatives, takeaway kind of stuff, for me. Another thing that I did, bring your own food and your own drink to the city. So I would always bring a water bottle from home, or you could even go to Trader Joe's in the city and stuff. Places with a decent priced food and drinks, because I'm telling you, if you go inside of those bodega places and corner stores, the water bottle will be $5, and I think that is way too much. You can get it way cheaper if you take it from home. Even getting a bagel can be 15 bucks in the cities. When it comes to water, because I would always bring water from home, and then in certain kinds of parks, they have those places where you can refill your water. I would always do that, even though a lot of people think that's nasty. And at some point I thought that too, but I don't have enough money to get the expensive waters. Another thing, when it comes to transportation, I see a lot of American people that love to Uber everywhere. And I'm telling you, Uber is very expensive, and New York is a busy city with a lot of pedestrians and traffic lights, so it takes forever to get from one place to another with car, and there are definitely distances that are faster reached by walking than with the car. So I recommend you, your feet are your best friend, to walk as much as you can, and if it's too far, you can always take the subway usually to most places. New York is definitely a nice city to explore while walking, because you always see something crazy or funny. I think you should use both and not try to Uber everywhere. Activities. So this is my favorite thing, and I spent a lot of time during my time in New York at Washington Square Park, and I think every person should go there at different times of the day, at different times of the year. There's always something going on at Washington Square Park. And what you can do is people watching. People watching is for free. I never did it before until I came to New York and went to Washington Square Park. And it's just fun because you meet different kinds of people that are working in creative fields or do creative things on the side. It's really nice to meet strangers there, or just to do people watching or read a book if the sun is out. You can really enjoy the things for free there. Another thing you can do is just explore the city by walking. So you could say, okay, I want to look around this neighborhood, because there are so many neighborhoods in Manhattan and Brooklyn and Queens and stuff where you can find so many gems or small stores. Just explore. Another thing that I love to do was food festivals, because those are usually on the cheaper side too, so you can walk around and try different kinds of street food and stuff. I love doing that, and New York has a ton of food festivals, especially in the summer. Another thing is networking events. There are a lot of free networking events, especially if you are a creative person, content creator, any kind of networking that you want to do, especially if you're new in the city. I would recommend you those. And oftentimes they even offer free food or drinks. I went to a couple of events sponsored by Facebook, and they paid for all the cocktails in there. Another thing you need to do is follow. There's this Instagram page about 3 things to do in New York, and this is a gem. They always post every month that there are certain events where you can get free food, any free stuff, obviously, free activities that you can do, and that's definitely a gem. Another thing, in summer you can also do free kayaking. You can do free yoga at Bryant Park. I did that. That is awesome. You need to follow Bryant Park on Instagram as well and check out their free yoga. They also have bingo where you can win nice prizes of Target, Whole Foods, all that good stuff. Then another thing that I did was also to volunteer at the animal shelter. I think even though you don't get any money, but I think what you receive is just the love and support. The people around you are very grateful for you to do that. That was a really rewarding experience for me. That way you can also meet other people and you don't need to pay for it. If you want to go to a Broadway show, there's a Broadway week, I don't know which time of the year it is, where you can get 2 tickets for 1. And you can also do the Broadway lottery, where 1 ticket only costs $40, which is pretty decent because usually they're around 100 and up. Another thing, if you're a resident of New York, there are a bunch of places, the Met Museum, the Natural History Museum, where you can pay as much as you want. So you can literally go to these huge museums that are worth visiting multiple times, and you can only pay $1 and get in. And I think that is definitely something you need to do. Next thing, if you want to do sightseeing or go to the summit, if that's a huge platform with the silver balloons and stuff where everything is glass. It's really nice, and usually they charge you different prices depending on the time that you go there. Usually during day is cheapest, then as soon as golden hour it gets really expensive, and then at night it's even more expensive, I think. What you can do is you can get the latest ticket for the cheapest price, let's say 2 p.m., $38 instead of paying $60 or something. You can get that cheap price, and then you can just stay there, watch the sunset, take sunset pictures. So you have multiple pictures at different times and different views that you can enjoy the city and see the skyline transform with the lights. That is really nice because they're not gonna kick you out once you're in there. And most people don't stay that long, but that way you can save a lot of money. And also, if you're a New York resident, you will also get a discount buying that ticket. Also, if you're a woman, it is very easy to get inside of clubs by hitting up or finding promoters in New York, and they give you free entry and free drinks inside usually. I didn't particularly like that because there's this quote that says, if you don't pay for a product, you are the product, kind of like social media. And that's really how you feel inside of those clubs too, because there's like a bunch of sugar daddies, and you know, all the men in there, they basically pay for everything because they have to pay like a really high price to get inside, first of all, and second of all, they also pay, you know, for drinks and stuff, and it just makes you feel really objectified, and I didn't like that at all. So it's not for me, but if that's something that you want to do, if you want to party and get drinks and don't have to pay for it, that is definitely something you can do. And there's a bunch of promoters out there that if you just put in NYC promoter, you will probably see a bunch of people on Instagram pop up, and you can just DM them, or they will DM you if you follow them. I definitely have even more tips if you're interested in seeing more of that. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!